The battle for the mitten continues once again here on a Saturday and eventually a Sunday evening coming up tomorrow. The Irish Hills Leprechauns took the first two games of this season series against the Monarchs, winning both of the games in Flat Rock to give the Monarchs tough losses. 8-6 and 7-2 ultimately were the finals on those nights a couple weeks back. But now the Monarchs, who are playing much better baseball, winners of 9 of their last 13 and an even smaller sample size, 5 of their last 6, have the opportunity to continue that nice stretch here with another win or two against the Leprechauns this weekend. Hello and welcome everyone to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball. And we are proud to bring it to you here on monarchsradio.com, the Monarchs Radio Network. I am Kevin Peel, happy to be bringing you the accounts and descriptions of the ball game today. Irish Hills coming into this game at 14-15 on the season, and they are 4.5 games back of the St. Clair Green Giants, who are ultimately in the lead in the division. And the Lake Erie Monarchs enter at 5.5 games back. 13-16 is their record at this point in the season. Irish Hills trying to capture another victory here tonight to move them back to 500, but the talented Monarchs ready to try and give it their best shot to shut them down here. Caleb Balgard is stepping into the right-handed batter's box, and we are getting set to go here on a beautiful night for baseball in Adrian, Michigan, just on the edge of the Irish Hills. Sam Benscooter, the pitcher, and the first pitch to Caleb Balgard drills him in the back. And that will be the start of this contest here today, as Balgard is nailed by a fastball right in the back. Balgard still a little hunched over, as you can see, just to the right of home. And he's going to try and walk this one off tenderly. The Monarchs were very short-handed in their series against the Xenia Scouts. Yesterday they had no position player substitutions. And with some players departing to go home, not a lot of room for error here or injuries. But we'll have to see how Caleb Balgard is. He right now is having a word with Jim DeSena, the first base coach here tonight for the Monarchs. Bradley Merritt over there at third base as the coach. And so Balgard will get his lead off of first base. He is there. The leadoff man is on for the Monarchs in the top of the first. And that'll bring up Jordan Nwogu, designated hitter. First pitch to him is fouled away off to the right and behind home. No balls and a strike to Jordan Nwogu. The University of Michigan product is an all-star and will play in the all-star game as a starter coming up on Tuesday for the Lake Erie Monarchs. And he has great numbers here this year. 0-1, and it's down and in. Ball and a strike on Jordan Nwogu. He's hitting .321, 4 homers, 17 RBIs this year for the Monarchs. Balgard, who's on first base, the leading average for the Monarchs with .349, 4 homers, 15 driven in. Balgard will draw a throw. The tag applied and back in safely as he got back before the tag of Max Mahone, the first baseman. Nwogu in on the right side against the righty Sam Benscooter. And the break-even pitch as a little roller up towards second base. It will be fielded by Faust. He'll throw to first and not get Jordan Nwogu, but Nwogu will reach via a fielder's choice on his ground ball that he hit right up the middle to second base. Out 4 unassisted is Caleb Balgard, as he was attempting to get to second safely. 1 out here in the top of the first inning, and a man still at first. No score. Here's Alex Lambo, starting shortstop, will dig in for the Monarchs here today. Alex Lambo swatting .303. He has 2 long balls and 14 runs batted in. From the stretch position is Benscooter. He pitches, and it's over the outside edge. First strike 1. Let's look a little bit behind our pitcher today, Sam Benscooter for the Irish Hills Leprechauns. He is a righty, 6'2", 195 pounds. Upcoming sophomore at Michigan State University. 0-1, a swing and a miss by Lambo. No balls and 2 strikes. Sam Benscooter is a hometown boy. He is from East Lansing, Michigan. And so playing his collegiate baseball at Michigan State must be quite an honor for him. The pitch, well outside, missing with the 0-2. It was low as well. A ball and 2 strikes now on Lambo, with Nwogu still staying put over there at first base. Here at first pitch tonight, we are in the low to mid 80s on temperatures. It's closer to 84. 1-2, runner takes off. Here's a pop-up. They'll get foul straight backwards, and the count's still a ball and 2 strikes. So Nwogu will have to retreat to the first base bag. The hit and run unsuccessful that time, but Lambo not retired. He's still battling. Number 3 man in the order for the Monarchs. Here's the pitch from Sam Benscooter. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Alex Lambo is fanned. First strikeout of the game for Benscooter. And Nwogu will stay put at first, and there are 2 down here in the top of the first. Let's take a look at the starting defensive alignment for the Irish Hills Leprechauns. Pellis in left, Pilot in center, Parks in right, Toll and Miller guard the left side of the infield, Faust and Mahone the right side, and Benscooter and Peterson are the battery here today. Quick throw over to first, and Jordan Nwogu's back in safely off the throw from Sam Benscooter. Switch hitting Robert Bell will start at first base tonight. And he's batting now with 2 down. And the throw will get away, as it maybe would have gotten Jordan Nwogu. He's on his way to second. He's now on his way to third, and he's going to get there without a throw, as that will be a 2-base error, a throwing error against the pitcher, Benscooter. And that's a big miscue. That allows Nwogu to move to just 90 feet away from home before they even throw a pitch to Robert Bell. First error of the game either way, as you would expect here in the top of the first. Now the pitch is grounded, knocked down by the mound. Bell going to try and leg it out, and he'll be just retired in time for the final out here in the bottom of the first. So Jordan Nwogu will be stranded at third. The Monarchs do not score, and we venture to the bottom of the first inning, where Lake Erie and Irish Hills are scoreless. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Lake Erie Monarchs and the Irish Hills Leprechauns scoreless as we head to the bottom of the first inning here at Siena Heights University in Adrian, Michigan. Jonathan Fincher, the starting pitcher tonight for the Monarchs. He is 6'3", 245 pounds, from Shreveport, Louisiana. Southpaw from Louisiana Tech University gets the ball here tonight for the Monarchs. And he'll look to shut down this lineup of the Leprechauns. Thomas Miller, Gunnar Rainey, and Max Mahone, the top three in the order that he will face in the inning. Strike one called to Thomas Miller, who takes one at the knees, 0-1. Thomas Miller starting shortstop. We saw him twice in Flat Rock. Taking for strike two is Miller, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. And Thomas Miller was batting in the 9 spot in the order, but he is hitting first to lead off today. Here's a ground ball over to short. Lambo fields high throw. Bell can't pull it down, as that will most likely be an error here to start things off as it goes against Alex Lambo. So it is an error against Alex Lambo on what was a high throw that led to the mistake. So we already have an error each way as we play in the bottom of the first inning. A good throw would have had Thomas Miller at first, but instead did not quite work out. Pitch outside, ball one to Gunnar Rainey, designated hitter, who will step into the batter's box. Rainey hitting .384 with a homer and 13 RBIs. Swings and lines one foul backwards to the screen. A ball and a strike. Our umpires for tonight's game, Mark Hannawald behind home plate calling the balls and strikes. Steve Miller, not from the band, but Steve Miller is on the bases, and he will be calling outs at first, second, or third. 1-1 from Fincher. And a liner heading foul off to the right of home. Hit hard by Gunnar Rainey. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thomas Miller coming into this game as well, who just batted .358, which is good for third on this team, batting average-wise. Playing in his 20th game. He's getting a decent lead at first. Now here's a pop-up hit towards right center field. Dyke coming over, and he'll make the catch in the alleyway. Dyke really had to hustle to track that one down. Back to first goes Miller. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Let's look defensively at the Lake Erie Monarchs tonight. Zach Schwarzenberger in left, Casey O'Laughlin in center, Andrew Dyke in right. Balgard at third, Lambo at short, Prater and Bell guarding the right side of the infield. Prater at second, Bell at first. Fincher and Mazer, the catcher. That is the battery tonight for the Monarchs. Max Mahone, the first baseman in the batter's box. Strike one to him at the knees, 0-1. Mahone with good numbers, .327 average, 6 homers, 24 RBIs. Both of those last 2 totals near the top in the league. 0-1, and over the top of a pitch, he swings. No balls and 2 strikes, the count now on Max Mahone. Max Mahone is tied for second in the league with 6 home runs, and he is a little further back in the RBI category. And now a ball will be called on a check swing. He did not go, 1-2. Griffin Dorshing is technically tied for fourth. We have a couple guys as Mahone lifts a deep fly ball to right field. Dyke going back, and a couple hop into the fence. Thomas Miller around third. He's coming home. He's going to score with ease without a throw. And Max Mahone is going to add to that RBI total. He picks up number 25, and the Irish Hills Leprechauns are on the board first here in Adrian. They lead it 1-0. Solidly struck baseball by Max Mahone, and it ends up deep in the alleyway for an RBI double. Good piece of hitting from Mahone to drive in a run, and Fincher already gives up one here early. That's simply amazing when you look at some of these players' RBI totals. Blaine Krim with 42 of Southern Ohio. He leads the league right now. Mahone gets one closer with 25. Outside pitch to Tommy Pellis starts off this at bat, ball one. Tommy Pellis, the starting left fielder, we saw him twice as the designated hitter when the Monarchs played him in Flat Rock. 1-0 is a deep fly ball hit to left field. Schwarzenberger backing up, still backing up, looking up, and it's gone. Tommy Pellis with a 2-run homer. Tommy Pellis, an impressive shot as he is able to clear the fence and give the Leprechauns a 3-0 lead. Pellis picks up his third of the season, RBIs 25 and 26 as he brings Mahone in with him. to make it 3-0. Not the start that Jonathan Fincher and the Leprechauns, rather the Monarchs wanted. The Leprechauns wanted this start. The Monarchs did not. After quite a stretch of winning 2 games on the road against Xenia and winning 3 of 4 this week so far. But that ball well out of here. And now there's nobody on. And 3 runs in here in the top of the first. Pitch misses high. Ball 1 to Josh Parks. Parks, the right fielder, hitting .261, no homers and 9 RBIs. And this was kind of pretty similar to how Wednesday started out. There's a called strike at the knees and over the outside corner to even it up at 1-1. Where the Grand Lake Mariners on Wednesday scored 10 in the bottom of the second inning to take a huge lead. 1-1 outside. And Parks is ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. So the Monarchs hoping to not fall behind that far here early. 2-1 upstairs, and Fincher misfiring makes it 3-1. Fincher has a 1-0 record with a 5.16 ERA. This is his 8th game he has pitched in, 3rd start. And a 3-1 is decked towards right field, backing up on a dike, and it one-hops the fence. On his horse heading to second is Josh Parks. He will get there safely with a 1-out double. And boy, things just keep on going for the Irish Hills Leprechauns here so far. 9th double of the season for Josh Parks. He leads the team in that category by 2 now over Max Mahone. Well, actually just 1. Mahone had a double here earlier on today. And these balls are not cheaply hit. They are traveling a long way here to begin this ball game. Here's Preston Pilot. Pilot will swing at the first pitch and foul it away to the left of home for strike 1. Pilot with a .256 average, no home runs, and 7 runs batted in. Jonathan Fincher getting set to go, working from the third base side of the rubber. And he deals the 0-1. And it's high and away to Pilot, a ball and a strike. And that has been a problem the last couple batters for Fincher here, falling behind and allowing the Leprechauns to get into aggressive hitting accounts. And they've done well. 1-1 fouled off. Down the third base line, a ball and 2 strikes now by on the batter, Preston Pilot. 3-0 Leprechauns, bottom of the first. A man at second and 1 down. Jonathan Fincher looking in, takes a deep breath, gets the sign, and the 1-2. Broken bat bloop over to third. That will be caught by Balgard, who barely had to move. 2 outs now as the runner is still at second base, that being Josh Parks. 3 runs in for the Leprechauns. They have the 3-0 lead here in the bottom half of the first. Now the batter, Jackson Peterson, gets the start as the catcher tonight for Irish Hills. Peterson hitting .256, 5 runs batted in. This is his 11th appearance for Irish Hills this year. Slow breaker over the inside corner for strike 1 to Jackson Peterson. Wind blowing less than 5 miles an hour here tonight. Oh, it's very, very humid, especially here in the press box. Fincher with a couple looks towards second. 0-1. Outside corner strike. Nice pitch to Jackson Peterson as he framed the outer edge. Lights are on here at Siena Heights University, but not creeping into effect and won't do so for a couple hours. 0-2. And a breaker is fouled off down the first baseline. Almost gloved by the first base coach of the Irish Hills Leprechauns, that being Jordan Hanna, the assistant coach. Dylan Hamilton is the manager for the Leprechauns. Both of them in their first years as coaches for the team. 0-2, low. Ball and 2 strikes on Peterson. He's the 7th batter of the inning. for the Leprechauns, who are sporting some nifty camo tops tonight with green letters on the back and Leprechaun script on the front, white pants and green socks for quite a few of them. Long green socks for Peterson. 1-2. A hanging breaking ball is slammed towards the gap, and it's going to fall for a base hit, rolling towards the fence. Peterson's going to get in with a double. Another run going to score. It's Josh Parks. That's the second RBI double of the inning. And the Leprechauns are just jumping all over Jonathan Fincher right now as Jackson Peterson picks up RBI number 6. 4-0 the score here in the bottom of the first. That ball was crushed to right center field. Again, another rough pitch for Jonathan Fincher that leads to a big knock towards right center. So Fincher going to be settled down here by Bradley Merritt, the first-year pitching coach for the Monarchs. Tim Brown, his first year as the skipper for the Monarchs. And, of course, GM Jim DeSena. He's been here the entire way for this Monarchs franchise in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. 4-0 the score. 4 hits in the inning for Irish Hills. Now Chris Faust will look at ball 1. And it's a 1-0 count. Christian Faust, the starting second baseman for Irish Hills. 194 average, 8 runs batted in. 1-0 from Fincher. And a fastball tapped foul to the left of the third baseline. Evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Got underway today at 7:02, a couple minutes early at Siena Heights University. Scheduled for a 7:05 first pitch. Couple drip drops falling to the ground a couple minutes before game time, but nothing substantial. No rain in the forecast. 1-1 is grounded over to short. Lambeau gobbles it up, checks the label, throws to first. That's it in the bottom of the first inning for Irish Hills, but it was a productive bottom of the first. They score 4 runs on 4 hits and error. They'll leave a man at second. And when we head to the second inning, the Monarchs will be trailing 4-zip. You're listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball. Monarchs down 4-0, top of the second inning. Andrew Dyke will get a called strike 1 against him. Sam Benscooter back to work and just a 10-pitch bottom of the first inning. So he's feeling pretty good about himself. His team giving him some nice run support early. 0-1, swing and a miss. And strike 2 now Andrew Dyke behind 2 strikes. Dyke from the University of Illinois in Champaign, 259 average, 3 homers, and 9 RBIs for the Monarchs this year. 0-2 from Ben Scooter. And tried to bring it back over the inside corner. Did not do so. Ball and 2 strikes. Dyke, O'Loughlin, Mazer, 5, 6, and 7 in the order for the Monarchs here in the second. 1-2 also comes inside and well low of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. A nice facility here at Siena Heights University. Turf infield and a grass outfield. 2-2. Rung him up, strike 3, and down goes Andrew Dyke on strikes. 2 Ks now for Ben Scooter through 5 batters here today. And that's the first out in the top of the second. I'll bring up Casey O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin getting the start today in center field and batting 6th. O'Loughlin hitting .288 with a homer and 10 RBIs. He had a nice series against the Xenia Scouts, especially last night. Big effort. Pitch over the inside corner, strike 1. Monarchs outscored Xenia 18-4 in that series down at Grady's Field. They won 6-2 2 nights ago on Thursday, won 12-2 last night. 0-1, well outside and high, getting Peterson out of his crouch, ball and a strike. So lots to be excited about for the Monarchs coming into this series with the way they were able to perform. Having to get a lot of wins in a short amount of time. 1-1 swing and a miss. Ball and 2 strikes on Casey O'Loughlin. This is already game number 30 of the year for the Monarchs. And after tomorrow's game, there will be just 10 remaining, which gives the Monarchs not a ton of time to try and come back into the standings. 1-2 chopper foul towards the first base on deck circle. Just missing Griffin Mazer, who's waiting on deck. So it's still 1-2 on O'Loughlin, who has the open stance on the left side. 1-2. And O'Loughlin lines one foul over our heads in the press box. 1-2. Continuing about the Leprechauns uniform tonight, they got the white caps with the green lid and the Leprechaun logo on the front of them. 1-2. And O'Loughlin chases for strike 3. Ben Scooter has now struck out 3 of the last 4 men he has faced and has 3 in the game. 2 down, nobody on, top of the second inning. 4-0 Irish Hills in the lead. And here's Griffin Mazer. Griffin Mazer, the backstop from the University of California in Irvine. 209 average, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. Pitch misses up and in. Ball 1 to Griffin Mazer. Monarchs in the usual road jerseys, gray with navy blue pinstripes. Monarch script on the front. 1-0, and it's down and away, 2-0. The navy blue numbers on the back have a green trim around them. Also numbers on the front. 2-0. High fastball upstairs, 3-0 on Griffin Mazer. Monarchs have the tri-colored caps, as they always do, with the green on the back, the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League logo. Navy blue on the sides and white on the front. 3-0, get over pitch for strike 1, inner half to Mazer. 3-1. Monarchs also have the green stirrups, as per usual. 2 white stripes and a navy blue stripe in between those. 3-1. Mazer with a big cut, and it's fouled back to the screen. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Mazer. Griffin Mazer taking an extra moment as he climbs back in on the right side. Looking in for the sign is Ben Scooter. He delivers the payoff pitch, and it's low and away, ball 4. Able to coax a walk is Griffin Mazer. First free pass issued by Ben Scooter today. He also has hit a batter through his first 7 that he has faced, although he hasn't allowed a hit. Monarchs are down 4 here in the top of the second. 2 down and a man at first. Here's Will Prater. Starting second sacker tonight for the Monarchs is Will Prater. 224 average, 3 runs batted in. A couple of those coming in the previous series against the Xenia Scouts. First pitch to him, And Prater with a high chopper towards second. They'll go the short way. Faust will to Miller covering the bag at second. Mazer will be forced at the bag. Will Prater chops into a fielder's choice, and that will end the top of the second inning. Monarchs not able to do any damage to Sam Benscooter. The middle of the second inning is right now 4-0 Irish Hills in the lead. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball. Leprechauns with a 4-0 advantage as the bottom of the second inning begins. Tommy Toll looks at ball one low and away, 1-0. It was a 30-pitch bottom of the first inning for Fincher in which he allowed 4 runs, just 2 of them earned. 1-0 is a little inside, missing the inside corner. 2 balls, no strikes. Tommy Toll hitting .242, no homers, 10 RBIs. Toll with a high pop-up down the left field line. Now coming towards the line is Schwarzenberger to put it away for out number 1. Very important first out here to begin this bottom half of the second inning. 4-0 Leprechauns. Yeah, the reason only 2 of those runs were earned, Thomas Miller reached on an error to begin the bottom of the first inning, and then Gunnar Rainey flew out to start that inning. Here's Thomas Miller now. He later would score on the Max Mahone RBI double after reaching on the air. But the only runs that would have been earned was the 2-run homer hit by Tommy Pellis, which scored Max Mahone. Strike 1 grooved into Miller, 0-1. And then the Jackson Peterson RBI double would not have happened because hypothetically Pilot's pop-out would have ended the inning. Here's a high Baltimore chop over the mound. Lambeau Fields throws and just got his man. Thomas Miller legging it out and almost beat it. Out number 2. First 2 men retired by Jonathan Fincher here in the Leprechauns half of the second. You're going to see a lot of those choppers on this turf, and they very much characterize the ground balls hit at Siena Heights University. A beautiful facility. Here's Gunnar Rainey, the DH, flew out his first time. He'll swing and just get a piece of one. No balls and a strike. Gunnar Rainey was the first out in the first inning. 0-1, he grooves a curveball over to short. Lambeau's been busy. He throws from the second base bag to the first base bag. Bell corrals it. That's the inning. A pop-up and 2 ground balls. That's all the Leprechauns can muster, which is nothing against Jonathan Fincher in the bottom of the second. We move to the third, 4-0 Leprechauns. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Lake Erie Monarchs fans, make sure to pay attention to Tuesday's All-Star game for the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. It's coming up at Prasco Park in Mason, Ohio. 7:05 first pitch. Free parking, admission, and concessions. You'll want to go out and cheer on your Monarchs in Mason, Ohio on Tuesday night. 4-0 score. Top of the third inning. Foul ball hit by Zach Schwarzenberger at the plate. Starts things off. Zach Schwarzenberger, the University of Toledo Rockets, swatting a .243 clip. No homers, 5 runs batted in. Switch hitter batting on the left side against the righty Sam Benscooter. 0-1 is a blooper hit towards center, but right at Pilot, who doesn't have to do very much. Underneath it for out number 1. Monarchs have only been able to muster a hit batsman and a walk off of Benscooter through 2 1/3 innings. He has stranded a Monarch on base in each of the first 2 frames. 4-0 Leprechauns, the score. They got all their runs in the bottom of the first. Here's Caleb Baumgart, who was struck by a pitch in the first. The pitch to him, swing, fly ball, deep left field. It's high, deep, it's gone if it's fair. And it is out of here. A towering shot for Caleb Baumgart, who continues to just hit the ball so well. 5 home runs now this year for Baumgart. He picks up his 16th RBI of the season, increasing that .349 batting average, and the Monarchs are on the board. It's 4-1 here in the top of the third. That's the definition of a moonshot for you right there. High home run, towering fly ball, and just carrying out of this park for a home run. Baumgart homered in 3 straight games. That was last weekend against the Joes, the 2 home games he hit home runs. And then on Tuesday night against the Mariners, he had 2 homerless games the past 2 nights that he has played against the Mariners and the Scouts. Ball 1 to Jordan Nwogu, rolled into a fielder's choice in the first. Got a night off yesterday, did Baumgart, but now he has homered in 4 of his last 6 games. 1-0 pitch fouled away by Jordan Nwogu. Sam Benscooter with a 1-0 record, a 4.10 ERA, trying to settle down after allowing that homer, which was the first hit of the game for the Monarchs. The 1-1. And Nwogu, a big swing, but just a little tapper towards the third base dugout. A ball and 2 strikes on Nwogu. 4-1 here in the top of the third. Monarchs trying to start the comeback. Plenty of time to do so. Fincher can settle into this ball game. 1-2 from Benscooter. Off the end of the bat. Liner missiled foul behind home. Ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Heavy cloud tops overhead here tonight in Adrian, but not menacing, although when the Monarchs and Leprechauns attempt to play tomorrow in Toledo at Fifth Third Field, there could be some rain in the forecast. 1-2 breaker stayed upstairs. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Nwogu. Will now make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. The rain going to hold off at least through game time here today in southeast Michigan. Break even, and Nwogu gets under one, popping it up on the infield towards second. Miller and Faust converging. It will be Miller in front of the bag to make it. 2 outs now in the top half of the third, and the Monarchs trailing by 3, 4-1. Next man up, Alex Lambo, fanned back in the first inning for the Monarchs. Sam Benscooter with that 4.10 ERA, pitching in his 6th game of the season. All of them starts. 26 1/3 innings pitched, 26 strikeouts, 9 walks, has allowed 28 hits. Lambo with a ground ball to third. Toll scoops, throws, got his man. Final out here in the top of the third, which was a productive one for the Monarchs. They get a run, a solo blast by Baumgart, his 5th of the season. He continues to close in on being top 5 in the league. We move to the bottom of the third, 4-1 the score, Monarchs trailing. You're listening to Monarchs Baseball on your home for Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball, monarchsradio.com. Leprechauns trying to respond after the Balgard solo homer. Ball one delivered to the backstop from Jonathan Fincher, 1-0. Max Mahone, Tommy Pellis, Josh Parks due up in the inning. The bottom of the third with the Leprechauns up 4-1. Mahone with a check swing went too far. Ball and a strike on Mahone, who doubled home a run in the bottom of the first inning. Inning in which the Leprechauns got all 4 of their runs. The pitch. And Mahone will take low and away. Ahead now is Mahone, 2 balls and a strike. This 3-4-5 part of the lineup just tortured Jonathan Fincher in that first inning. 2-1 finishes low and inside. 3-1 to Mahone. Mahone from Davis and Elkins College in West Virginia takes a strike. 3-2, which is in Elkins, West Virginia. He's an upcoming junior, 6'2", 225. He's able to coax a walk. Ball 4 delivered low by Fincher. First man on here in the bottom of the third for the Irish Hills Leprechauns. First walk for Jonathan Fincher. 4-1 our score in the bottom of the third. Leprechauns in the lead. Here's Tommy Pellis, who had a 2-run homer back in the first. Pellis with a breaking ball. That one gets to the backstop off the glove of Mazer. Fortunately, Max Mahone not able to move up on it. A ball that should have been moved up on. Well, Mahone does not have a ton of speed, so that's why he was not able to advance. The 1-0. Outside corner, strike one. Even up the count and a ball and a strike. Monarchs have been here at Siena Heights University several times this year, despite this being the first road series they play, the Leprechauns. 1-1 is down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Monarchs tried to play a game here a few weeks back against the St. Clair Green Giants with a ton of rain in the forecast in southeast Michigan. 2-1 is a high pop-up hit to center. Moving to his left is O'Laughlin, middle depth center field. Two-handed catch is made. Out number 1 here in the third for the Leprechauns. They're ahead by 3. Now Josh Parks, the batter. Doubled and scored later in the first inning did Josh Parks. Max Mahone still at first base. Monarchs and Leprechauns, rather Green Giants, played to a tie 4-4 through 5 innings on that resumption of a suspended game. Strike one to Josh Parks, 0-1. The rain just became too much, and they were not able to finish the game. They would later finish in Tecumseh, Ontario a week later, and the Green Giants would snag the win. 0-1 misses the outside corner, a ball and a strike on Parks. Monarchs also played a doubleheader against the Richmond Jazz here on June 24th. They split that doubleheader, winning Game 2 via Lane Schnitz-Paxton's gem. 1-1 chopped over to the first base bag. Bell Fields will throw to second. They tag. Mahone out of there. So there's your everyday orthodox 3-6 double play, a reverse double play. Will get the Monarchs out of the bottom of the third unscathed. Another nice inning for Jonathan Fincher. To the fourth, 4-1 Leprechauns lead. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. Top of the fourth inning is upon us. 4-1. Lake Erie Monarchs trailing the Irish Hills Leprechauns. Robert Bell jumping all over a high fastball, and it's fouled well out of play. Sam Benscooter pitching to Robert Bell, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out today. Monarchs with 1 run, a hit, an error, and they've left 2 men on base so far. 0-1 on the way to Bell, and he swings and lifts one into shallow right center. Faust gives way to the right fielder Parks, who will creep in to make the catch. That was a towering pop-up. F9 for Bell. That's the start of the fourth inning. For the Irish Hills Leprechauns, they have 4 runs on 4 hits. They have an error, and they've left just 1 on base through 3 innings. Now Andrew Dyke was rung up in the second inning to begin that frame. Found out a little earlier, Sam Benscooter is not a East Lansing guy. Strike 1 as Dyke swings and misses. He is from Tecumseh, which is only 10 minutes up the road from here, north of Adrian. 0-1. And misses inside. So relatively, he's a hometown boy for the Leprechauns, but not for his college, Michigan State. He's coming off his first win of the year as Benscooter. 1-1. Stays up. 2-1 to Dyke. 6 2/3 innings last week on Sunday against the Licking County Settlers. An 8-3 victory here for the Leprechauns. 2-1. Got a piece of it. Potentially it was Dyke, swinging and a miss, 2-2. Allowed just an earned run, 6 hits, a walk, and 7 strikeouts while facing a season-high 26 in 6 2/3 innings and winning the game for the Leprechauns. 2-2, and maybe a foul tip into the mitt. Strike 3 regardless. Andrew Dyke goes down. 2 Ks for Andrew Dyke tonight. 4 strikeouts now for Sam Benscooter this evening. And the first 2 Monarchs are retired in the 4th. They trail it 4-1. Here's Casey O'Laughlin. He also was a strikeout victim of Benscooter in the second. First one to him, high and tight, bending him away from the plate, ball 1. Benscooter has pitched otherwise 5 innings at least in 3 of the other 4 starts he has made. 1-0 is a pop-up behind home. Tossing the mask is Peterson. Moves to the right of home, and that will do it. As Casey O'Laughlin fouls out to end a very routine inning for Sam Benscooter. We are on our way to the bottom of the 4th. 4-1 Irish Hills over Lake Erie. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Bottom 4, Irish Hills looking to start this series off on the right foot. They lead it 4-1. Pilot trying to slap a bunt down the third base line and fouls it at home. No balls and a strike. Pilot popped out to third back in the first inning. A broken bat pop out. Fincher into his fourth inning of work. 0-1. And it's low and away. A curveball that missed the mark. A ball and a strike for Jonathan Fincher. Pitched 6 innings for the first time in his last start against the Joes last week. 1-1 is a liner towards left, dropping for a single in front of Zach Schwarzenberger, who will quickly cut it off. Pilot's single is the 5th hit of the game for the Irish Hills Leprechauns. Pilot had been in quite a tough stretch over his last 12, but is able to get a hit there. Good piece of hitting. Hit number 5 for Irish Hills. Bottom of the 4th continues. A man is at first. 4-1 Irish Hills. Now Jackson Peterson, who doubled home a run to a right center. He hit a deep ball. Curveball for strike 1 by Jonathan Fincher. Fincher in a 6-4 win over the Hamilton Joes last Saturday through 6 innings, allowing 4 earned runs. 0-1. And an off-speed pitch took something off of it. Peterson takes strike 2. 7 hits allowed, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, which was a season high for Fincher. He has had to sidestep 17 hits over his last 11 innings. But he pitched well enough last week to get the W against the Joes. 0-2. And Peterson a check swing. Did he go too far on the pitch high and tight? He did not go, as Steve Miller, our base umpire, declared that he did not go. So the count is 1-2 on Peterson. He's still alive. 1-2 from Fincher. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Mazer. A good defensive catcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Griffin Mazer made the All-Star team as the alternate catcher here this year, along with Jordan Nwogu, starting outfielder. 2-2. And in on the hand, it's corked foul by Peterson, with Pilot dancing over there at first base. Count remains even at 2. Monarchs also got lefty Alex Tice, who has been money out of the bullpen this year for the Monarchs, to make it to the All-Star game. And righty Lane Schnitz-Paxton. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Nope, Peterson got a piece of it and fouled it away. So Peterson's going to stay put in the left-handed batter's box. Lefty-lefty matchup. The left-handed hitting catcher and the left-handed hurler, Fincher, who will work from the third base side of the rubber on that big clay mound. 2-2. And again, fouled back, this time to the screen on a line. 8th pitch of the at-bat will be coming up for Jackson Peterson here in the bottom of the 4th, with Irish Hills in the lead 4-1. Man at first, Pilot with a very small lead. Now he takes a larger one. 2-2. Nearly rung him up. A fastball finished below the zone and maybe a touch outside. Full count on Jackson Peterson. Balgard creeping in at third base. Time called as Peterson will step out for a moment. The clouds are gray up above us right now, but nothing menacing in terms of rain. 3-2. And ball 4 outside. Great walk drawn by Jackson Peterson. A single and a walk will start off the 4th inning for the Leprechauns. Peterson very patient, laid off a couple borderline pitches, and will take first base. Second walk of the game for Fincher. He has walks in consecutive innings. 4-1 Irish Hills here in the 4th. Nobody out. The batter, Christian Faust, squares the bunt, pulls back, and the pitch is low, ball 1, a fastball that missed the mark. Faust grounded out to short in his first at-bat of the game here tonight. Balgard again creeping in. Robert Bell staying back behind the runner at first. 1-0. Wanting to put it down, instead takes a fastball at the knees, outside corner. Level count at a ball and a strike.
1 ball, 1 strike, no outs, runners on first.
Almost an hour into this contest, which started a couple minutes after 7 tonight. 1-1 is bunted down the first baseline. Bell will grab it, has to throw to the second baseman. Prater covering the bag, and Steve Miller will punch him out. Not literally, but punches him out as the sac bunt will be successful, 3-4. Runners move up to second, Jackson Peterson, and third, Preston Pilot. Christian Faust, who has struggled with the lumber this year, successful in moving base runners over this time. Irish Hills looking to advance their 3-run lead further. Pitches down low, ball onto Tommy Toll, who flew out to left his first time. Can Fincher get out of this mess? 1-0. Slow changeup stays upstairs, getting Mazer out of his crouch. 2 balls and no strikes. Monarchs haven't had to deal with a ton of adversity over the past couple days. They've been in the lead in both games of the past series. 2-0 is lined back to the backstop. 2 balls and a strike. The only real dud of a game this week for the Monarchs was on Wednesday evening when they got shelled 14-3 at Montgomery Field in Salina. Fell behind 12-0 after 2 innings that night. 2-1 from Fincher. Fastball at the knees, outside edge. Even it up. 2-2 on Tommy Toll, right-handed hitting third baseman. 9-man in the order. Thomas Miller, the leadoff guy, on the on-deck circle. The pitch. Curveball nearly rung him up, but it was a little low. Toll is just able to lay off it. Count fills up. He waves the bat in front of him. Now settles in over his right shoulder. 3-2, a liner to left past the diving Balgard for a base hit. It's going to score 1. Preston Pilot crosses home plate. And the Leprechauns get the run back that they surrendered in the top of the third. RBI single for Tommy Toll to drive in his 11th run of the season. And the Leprechauns have a 5-1 lead on 6 hits now in the bottom of the 4th. Just spanked it right past Caleb Balgard and into left. So Fincher just hasn't been able to sidestep trouble in this inning. Peterson is at third base and Toll's at first. And the first one is a liner that is soaring towards the corner. That's down for a hit. It will be cut off by Schwarzenberger before it gets to the warning track. But in the process, a run going to come in to score. That is Jackson Peterson. RBI double for Thomas Miller, who gets on base for the second time. And it's 6-1. Irish Hills in the lead here tonight in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 runs are in. So the onslaught continues against Fincher as Peterson crossed home plate. Up to third goes Tommy Toll. 3 hits in the inning now for Irish Hills. And a slapper foul to the netting behind home. No balls and a strike on Gunnar Rainey, who is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out. Gunnar just got himself into the top 5 in the league in batting average. Here entering play today, 384. 0-1 is down low. 1-1 on Gunnar Rainey. So not handling the expectations well just yet is Rainey after getting across that mark. Onto the front page of the GLSCL website. Well, here's a liner hit towards left center. That's going to improve the average. It's down and moving towards the gap. Crossing home is Toll, following behind Thomas Miller. He'll trot in a 2-run double for Gunnar Rainey. And things running away from Jonathan Fincher and the Lake Erie Monarchs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's another 4-run frame, and it's 8-1 Irish Hills. Gunnar Rainey with RBIs 14 and 15 on the season as he gets his first hit of the night. And it just appears like Fincher is laboring a bit. Boy, the amount of doubles hit in this game is enough to last a lifetime. 5 doubles in this game. Ball 1 to Max Mahone outside. He has one of them, an RBI double in the first and a walk in the third. 5 doubles in 7 hits. Make it 8 hits for Irish Hills. Yikes.
Here comes the
Here's the pitch from Fincher, and it's a chopper hit up the middle. Can't be backhanded by Prater. It's into center field. Rounding third, heading home, and scoring is Thomas Miller, rather Gunnar Rainey on the play. And we'll see what the ruling on that one will be. If Prater did not touch it, then it would be an RBI single, and that'll make it 9-1. Ninth hit of the game for the Leprechauns, and they have now scored 5 in this bottom of the 4th inning. Yeah, it didn't really look like Prater got a piece of it out there. Now swing and a foul ball hit by Tommy Pellis on the line, 0-1. 2-run homer for Pellis in the first, and he flew out to center back in the third. Monarchs up and down here this week. 0-1 taken for strike 2, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch is outside, make it still 0-2 on Tommy Pellis. With 1 out in the inning, and Max Mahone is at first base. 3 straight run-producing hits for Irish Hills. Make it 4 straight run-producing hits. 0-2. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with a fastball. First strikeout for Jonathan Fincher tonight. He hasn't put anyone away in that department just yet. 5 runs in here in the bottom of the 4th. Monarchs trailing 9-1. And here comes the 9th batter of the inning, Josh Parks, who has doubled and grounded into a 3-6 reverse double play his last time. 2 outs, 5 in. Pitch inside and low, ball 1. Mazer was able to backhand it. Mahone is the base runner at first for Irish Hills. Looking to get that record back to 15-15 on the year. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Chasing the high heater was Parks. 1-1. Josh Parks this year, quite a base stealer. 10 of 11 in stealing bases. Didn't have to his last time, as he already got to second base, and then Jackson Peterson scored him with a double later in the inning. 1-1 over the outside corner for a strike. Throw down to second. Max Mahone steals the base. It was a called strike to Parks, a throw that Mazer didn't have a bunch on, and Max Mahone will get his second stolen base of the season, and he is 2 for 2. Now 54 for 68 on stolen bases. Now the umpire, Steve Miller, going to have to try and dig some dirt out, it appears, underneath the second base bag. Mahone was coming in hot to the bag, trying to make sure he got in safely. Prater's tag was just a little bit late. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, 9-1 game. By the way, fans, make sure to follow your favorite baseball team on LakeErieMonarchs.com. We have stories for you, stats, rosters, and upcoming schedule. 8 of the last 10 games will be played at Flat Rock Field for the Monarchs, and you will want to make sure to come on out to the ballpark for those. And you can find all that information on LakeErieMonarchs.com. So it took a little bit of work from Miller to jump onto the base to get it back in properly. Now we're ready to go. 1-2 from Fincher. High and tight. Bending away was Parks in time from a wayward changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. 5 runs in for Irish Hills here in the 4th to take the 8-run lead, 9-1. The 2-2 on the way. Curveball popped up the elevator shaft, shallow right center. Prater going out. It's his to make, and he does so, putting it away with a 2-handed grab. Out number 3. Another productive inning for the Irish Hills Leprechauns. They score 5 runs on 5 hits, and they'll leave a man on. We venture to the 5th, 9-1 Leprechauns. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. First pitch of the inning fouled away by Griffin Mazer. Strike one. Sam Benscooter keeps getting a more comfortable lead. Now it's 9-1 as the fifth inning begins. Kevin Peel here with you in Adrian, Michigan. Siena Heights University tonight. 0-1. And it's inside. A ball and a strike to Griffin Mazer. First of two in this series. The Monarchs will be ready to play tomorrow in the finale of this doubleheader, or rather this series. 2-1 now on Griffin Mazer as the pitch misses outside. This game was initially scheduled to be played at Ford Field in Livonia. They changed the site. 2-1, line to right. That's getting down for a base hit. Griffin Mazer starts off the top of the fifth on a strong note with with a single to right field. Two hits now for the Monarchs. They've been too few and far between here tonight. Prater up for the second time tonight. Chopped into a fielder's choice in the second. 9-1 Leprechauns. Man at first, nobody out. Top five. The batter, Prater, will line one foul. Back to the netting behind home. No balls and a strike. Dale Gray, of course, an assistant coach for the Monarchs, was the skipper for the Irish Hills Leprechauns the past 2 years. 0-1 is taken for strike two by Will Prater. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Monarchs last year won 2 of the first 3 matchups. Make it 4 matchups in a row against the Leprechauns last year, kind of after they dropped the opener. But it was a good season series in all things considered, although the Leprechauns, as Prater takes ball 1 outside, now 1-2, is grounded back to the mound. Benscooter knocks it down, play to second for 1, throw to first, not in time. Double play averted. 1-6 put out on the fielder's choice, hit back to the mound. Impressive play by Benscooter. He was turning away from home plate and was able to corral it nicely to at least get 1 out. So the Leprechauns, when you look at it, they've won 4 straight in this series against the Monarchs, this rivalry. Low and inside, ball 1 to Zach Schwarzenberger, who flew out to center in the 3rd inning. 9-1 Leprechauns lead it here in the 5th with a man at first. Leprechauns winning in Flat Rock 9-7 and 10-4 to wrap up last season on Saturday and Sunday. 1-0. And a liner to center. That's going to drop in for a hit. Scampering over to second base is Will Prater. He'll get there safely. 2 hits in the inning for the Monarchs. There's 1 man down. Monarchs trying to get something going, trailing by 8. They have 3 hits in the game, 2 of them in this inning. And the only other man who had a hit before this inning was Caleb Balgard. A solo homer in the 3rd inning, a high fly ball to left. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st. Balgard now with homers in 4 of his last 6 games for the Monarchs. The pitch. Up and in, ball 1. So you could say the Leprechauns have had the upper edge in this rivalry over the last few games in this series, although the Monarchs in the middle stages of last year were very successful. Benscooter comes set, 1-0. And Balgard pops one up. This one not leaving the yard. Parks coming in right field will make the catch. 2 outs now, top of the 5th. Back to second goes Prater, and Schwarzenberger will head back to first. 9-1 game here in the 5th. Benscooter trying to work out of trouble. Still has to deal with Jordan Nwogu. Nwogu rolled into a fielder's choice in the first, popped out in the 3rd inning. Nwogu will bat on the right side against Sam Benscooter. Benscooter delivers. And strike 1 called. Knees in the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Ben Scooter looking in.
No balls, a strike, 2 down, runners on first and
0-1
second. Here comes
is
0-1
on the way.
Ben Scooter.
And it's
0-1
downstairs.
ball
Make it a
back to
ball
0-1. He popped up
and
to
a
the
strike.
shortstop his last time up, 0 for 2 today.
Last year for Michigan State, 18 2/3 innings pitched for Sam Ben Scooter. 0-2 record with a 4.82 ERA.
I just realized now we have a little bit of a rivalry at the plate.
21 hits, 15 runs, 10 of them earned. 1-1 outside. 2 balls and a strike to Jordan Nwogu. Allowed 10 earned runs and 71 at bats, an opposing batting average of 296. He had just 3 appearances and 3 1/3 innings pitched during his freshman year at Michigan State. The 2-1. And comes inside and plunks Nwogu. Second hit batsman of the game for Sam Ben Scooter. Up to third, Prater. Schwarzenberger to second. And Nwogu will take Schwarzenberger's place at first. 2 outs for Alex Lambo. Monarchs trying to get back into this game, and this is the perfect opportunity, down 9-1 in the 5th. But the sacks are full with 2 outs. They need a hit here. 0 for 2 is Lambo. Swings right away, pops it foul on a play to the right of home. 0-1. Strikeout for Lambo in the first, grounded out to third, back in the 3rd inning. Lambo with a slightly open stance on the right side of the batter's box. A longer look in than usual from the Michigan State Spartan. The 0-1. And stays upstairs, a ball and a strike. So the last batter you had the Michigan Wolverine, Jordan Nwogu, against the Michigan State Spartan, Sam Ben Scooter. You also have a teammate rivalry. Evan Floor out of the Monarchs bullpen is from Michigan State. 1-1 off the end of the bat, a little nubber down the first base line. That's going foul past Jim DeSena, first base coach here tonight. Ball and 2 strikes. Monarchs getting a little bit of action going down the first base line with their bullpen. Fincher was already in the mid-80s pitch count-wise, so that could be the issue there. 1-2, and Lambo swings and misses for strike 3. He'll be tagged out, and that is that in the 5th for the Monarchs. They will leave them loaded here in the 5th. They get a couple of hits, but do not score. Middle of the 5th, halfway home, 9-1 Irish Hills. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. Defensive changes for the Monarchs. Bottom of the 5th inning begins with Irish Hills well in command, 9-1. Jonathan Fincher's first pitch, a liner that he turned on Preston Pilot, but he nails it foul near the bullpen of the Monarchs down the first base line, right near Jack Heisman, who's warming up. 0-1. 9-3, the Leprechauns out hitting the Monarchs. Curveball is rolled over towards second. Prater charging, can't glove it. And that will be an infield single for Preston Pilots. As Prater just wasn't able to scoop it out of there. He knew he had to hurry because of the runner heading towards first. And so that's hit number 10 for Irish Hills. Monarchs really missing a big opportunity in that top of the fifth inning, leaving them loaded. There's Jackson Peterson, pitch outside, ball one. Peterson with a double and a walk today. Also has scored a run. Leadoff man on. Monarchs looking for the double play. 1-0. Above the belt, 2 balls and no strikes. So the defensive change is Casey Slattery's the new first baseman. He will bat in the 5 spot in the order for Andrew Dyke, who checks out of the game. Robert Bell moves from first base to right field. 2-0 inside corner at the knees. 2-1 on Jackson Peterson, left-handed hitting catcher. Jonathan Fincher set school records at his high school back in Shreveport. C.E. Bird, 2-1 is low and away. 3 balls and a strike on number 7, Jackson Peterson. Number 13, Jonathan Fincher pitching to him. 3-1. And skips it in, ball 4. Another walk for Jonathan Fincher. He has walked at least 1 in each of the last 3 innings now and has 3 walks in the game. First 2 men on, Bradley Merritt is out, and he might be giving the hook to Fincher as the first 2 men have reached in the bottom of the 5th in a 9-1 game. Bradley Merritt coming out, talking with Fincher. And Heisman gets the call to come in. We'll take a break. Bottom of the 5th will resume after this. Irish Hills by 8. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. Jonathan Fincher out after 4+ innings here tonight, and Jack Heisman will take his place on the mound. Heisman, the 6'4", 200-pound upcoming sophomore from Western Michigan University, wearing number 37, right-handed pitcher will toss against Christian Faust, who leads off against him. Pitches high and in, ball one. Preston Pilot at second base. He led off the inning with a single, and Jackson Peterson followed with a walk. Heisman will take a deep breath. Looks towards the plate. The 1-0. And high and tight. 2 balls and no strikes. Heisman is from Holland, Michigan, and is getting set to turn 20 years old on September 24th. Currently 19. Heisman, chest high, he's ready. 2-0, and off the end of the bat, high fly ball hit foul. That will get out of play near the corner. 2 balls and a strike. Ballpark has surrendered a couple homers today. 330 down the lines here at Siena Heights University Baseball Field. 380 to the alleyways and 400 to dead center field with a 25-foot batter's eye. 2-1 from Heisman. It's fouled back to the screen by Christian Faust. 2-2. Faust grounded out in the first. Sacrifice bunted a couple runners over in the 4th inning. What was a productive 4th inning for the Irish Hills Leprechauns, as they were able to put 5 runs on the board. They're not bothering with these 1 or 2 run innings tonight. They've done 4 and 5, so they've gone big or gone home. 2-2, a liner to right, base hit. Nice piece of hitting from Faust. His first hit of the night will be the 11th hit for the Irish Hills Leprechauns, and they just keep them moving here. Nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. Leprechauns looking to add on to that 9-1 lead. Looked like it was off the end of the bat, but it easily made it to the outfield. I'll bring up Tommy Toll. Has some power. We've seen him exploit it before. He'll bat on the left side, switch hitter. Pitch from Heisman. Strike at the knees, outside corner, no balls and a strike. Toll flew out to second, or in the 2nd inning to left, singled, home a run, and scored as part of the 4th inning. 0-1 from Heisman. Ground ball back to the mound. Heisman's going to come home to get the first man. They throw to first, and Toll's out of there. 1-2-3 double play on a chopper to the mound. That's a huge out. And Preston Pilot retired 1-2 coming home. So that couldn't have worked out much better for the Monarchs, but they're not out of the woods yet. Still runners at 2nd and 3rd, 2 down in the 5th, 9-1 game. So now one of the runners that Jonathan Fincher was responsible for is out. We'll get to his numbers in a moment. He can only give up a maximum of now 10 runs, 8 of them earned. Heisman's pitch, high and away to Thomas Miller, ball 1, who's been active again. Reached on an error in the 1st and scored. Grounded out in the 2nd. And hit an RBI double in the 4th, would later score in the inning. Heisman takes a deep breath. First base side of the rubber, throws low and away. 2 balls and no strikes on Thomas Miller. So Jonathan Fincher's numbers, 92 pitches in 4+ innings, faced 25 batters. 3 walks, 1 strikeout, allowed 10 hits. And as of right now has allowed 9 runs, 7 of them earned. The 2-0. And a line drive, base hit, center field. That's going to bring home at least 1. Peterson scores. Faust getting the wave. He's heading home. And the Leprechauns have broken into double figures. A 2-run single for Thomas Miller, who has 3 RBIs in the game. He continues to just devastate the Monarchs this year. Miller with 16 RBIs on the season, boosting that .358 average further. And the Monarchs trail 11-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Now you can close the book on Fincher, 10 runs, 8 earned. And one of those runs charged to Heisman. Ground ball over to 3rd, hit by Gunnar Rainey. Balgard will throw him out. That will end the inning. But the damage is done. A couple more runs come in for Irish Hills. They get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they will leave 2 men on. And we will head to the 6th, 11-1 Irish Hills. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Sixth inning ready to go. Sam Benscooter will throw a first pitch fastball past Robert Bell for strike one. 11-1 Irish Hills. 11 runs on 12 hits, an error, and they have left just 3 men on so far. Monarchs with 1-3-1, and they've left 5 on. And a liner heading foul over the third base dugout. No balls and 2 strikes on Robert Bell, who has grounded out and flown out to right today. 0-for-2 start. Casey Slattery will be due up to bat for the first time. He's in the on-deck circle. Casey O'Loughlin will follow. 3 lefties against Sam Benscooter. Michigan State Spartan has looked solid. 0-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. Robert Bell out of there. They'll throw down just to complete the strikeout anyway, although I don't think it was needed. 3-pitch strikeout, and that's 2 straight strikeouts for Benscooter.
6 strikeouts tonight for Benscooter.
6 for Sam Benscooter. He just keeps going about his business right now. He's had 70 pitches through 5 1/3 innings. Here's Casey Slattery. Strike. Nope, missed. Low and away. Looked pretty good, but Slattery was able to lay off for ball 1. Slattery with a 133 average, 4 RBIs. 1 out. And Slattery cracks one over to second. It's stopped by the second baseman Faust. He comes up with it, though, and throws on to first for the out. It was hit hard, but right at Faust, who was able to backhand it and make sure it stayed on the infield. 2 up, 2 down, top 6. Monarchs trailing 11-1. Here's Casey O'Loughlin. Strikeout and a pop-out for O'Loughlin today. Benscooter works only from the set position. Pitch to him, a line drive, hit towards right. Parks moving towards the corner and slightly backwards, puts it away. Out number 3. It's a 6-pitch inning for the Irish Hills Leprechauns, and Benscooter will take it. Middle of the 6th is next. Leprechauns looking to add on to their 11-1 advantage. This is your home for Lake Erie Monarchs baseball. Irish Hills Leprechauns looking to add on to the 11-1 lead. They're facing Jack Heisman, who delivers the first pitch of the 6th. Max Mahone looks at strike 1 over the inside corner. No balls and a strike. Kevin Peel here with you. Been a rough showing for the Monarchs tonight on this Saturday evening in Adrian. 0-1. Mahone went too far on a check swing. 0-2. Max Mahone's been on base 3 times tonight. Double, single, and a walk, and has driven in 2 runs tonight.
Mahone has 2 RBI tonight.
The 0-2.
The 0-2 is
Mahone able to lay off a fastball outside. Ball and 2 strikes. Mahone able to get himself up to 26 RBIs for the season. Tied with Tommy Pellis for the team lead. 1-2. A hanging breaking ball is banged to left center. It's going to stay in the yard. O'Loughlin moving to the alleyway. He puts it away, out number 1. That ball actually wasn't hit quite as hard as I thought it looked like it was off the bat. Routine first out for Jack Heisman. 1-0 record, 4.58 ERA for Heisman coming into tonight's game. He has pitched in 8 games now, has started 2, 17 and 2/3 innings pitched, 20 strikeouts to 14 walks. Still working on that number. Pellis fastball high to him, ball 1. Pellis with a 2-run blast, a flyout, and a K today, 1 for 3. 14 hits allowed for Heisman through 17 and 2/3. The tall righty is pitching out of the windup, and he delivers to home. Pellis puts it on the ground to short, backhanded by Lambo. His throw to first is true. Out number 2. Pellis now 1 for 4. That brings up Josh Parks. 1 for 3 is Parks with a double and a run scored in the first. Grounded into a 3-6 reverse double play in the third. Popped out to the second baseman Prater in the fourth, his last time up. Jack Heisman's last appearance came 4 days ago on Tuesday against the Grand Lake Mariners. What was a 7-3 victory for the Monarchs. The pitch, high and away, ball 1. 4 2/3 innings in what was his second start of the season. Allowed 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Faced 23, and the win was taken away from him by Evan Flores' performance. 1-0. Low and in, 2-ball count. But still an impressive performance. The pitch count getting to him a little bit, and that's why he was not able to finish out that start. 2-0. Ground ball through the right side, a base hit. Will Prater was playing very much up the middle. It looked to be a routine ground ball over to second, and Parks just put it where they ain't, and that's what you're supposed to do. Hit number 13 for the Irish Hills Leprechauns. They have a 10-run lead here in the 6th. Now, if they would have had 13 hits in their game last night, that would have been a little freaky, that being Friday the 13th. But it's Saturday the 14th, and it has been freaky for the Monarchs, not in a good way. Curveball at the knees, strike 1 over the inside corner to Preston Pilot. A couple singles for Pilot here tonight. 2 runs scored as well for Pilot. Talk about breaking out of a slump in a big way with a couple hits. Runner takes off. He had a huge jump. Strike 2 delivered over the outside corner. And Josh Parks is going to steal that base without even an acknowledgement of him doing so. His jump was so impressive off of Heisman that Mazer couldn't even move, and he was pretty much at the bag. Parks now with 11 stolen bases, 1 behind Noah Suarez for the team lead. 0-2 is inside. Good pitch to Pilot, but he's able to lay off. 1-2. 2 outs in the 6th. 11-1 Leprechauns. Josh Parks is at second base after his 2-out knock. Heisman taking a couple deep breaths. Has the left foot slightly offset with the right foot. 1-2, lined over the head of Prater. Could not make the catch. It's into center field. Parks going to trot home to score. Now moving up to second base is Preston Pilot. Going to be a single and an error against Casey O'Laughlin as he allows Pilot to get into second base. RBI will stand for Pilot, and that's his 3rd hit of the game. 2nd error for the Monarchs, and it's 12-1 Irish Hills here in the bottom of the 6th. 2nd run that Jack Heisman has allowed here tonight. And it just keeps getting worse for the Monarchs. Seemed to be an innocent 2-out single, and those just don't seem to turn out to be innocent as much as usual. Strike 1 taken by Jackson Peterson, who has doubled and walked twice tonight. Also has scored twice, so he's been all over the place.
Here comes the
0-1 pitch, a little bit low. Even up the count on Peterson, a ball and a strike. So Casey O'Laughlin gets the error on the bobble out in center field. For O'Laughlin, that's his first error of the season. Product of Northwestern, 1-1, and skips in for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike on Jackson Peterson. Both runs Heisman has allowed so far have been earned. But if another run was to come in here, it would be unearned. 2-1. Fastball popped up, well out of play in the air to the left of home. Even up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We have deuces wild with a man at second here in the 6th. A 12-1 game. Jack Heisman adjusting the cap on his head. Casey O'Laughlin swatting Nats out in center field. So is Will Prater at second. 2-2. And bounces in and away from Mazer to the backstop. And that will be a wild pitch. First wild pitch of the night for the Monarchs. Because that ball skipped into the dirt, that is why it is a wild pitch and not a pass ball. Count fills up on Jackson Peterson. And at third, 3-2. Peterson swings and foul tips one in the mitt. Strike 3, he's out of there. Jack Heisman gets his first strikeout, but Irish Hills adds to the lead. RBI single for Preston Pilot makes it 12-1 Leprechauns. We venture to the 7th next. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Time for the 7th. Monarchs in a deep hole, 12-1. Griffin Mazer leads off against Sam Benscooter, who delivers ball 1 high and tight, 1-0. Griffin Mazer with a walk and a single here tonight. He has had a nice night. The Monarchs have not. After outscoring Xenia 18-4 in the 2-game series, they've put up just 1 on 3 hits through 6 innings here tonight. Breaking ball misses outside, 2-0. Sam Benscooter's in great shape. He's at 75 pitches through 6+ innings. He's been lights out with the lights coming on. 2-0 is fouled away, straight back by Mazer. Make it 2-1. Mazer, Prater, Schwarzenberger due up in the top of the 7th inning.
2 balls, a strike. 1 down.
Griffin Mazer donning the number 18 jersey. Fascinating to hear his summer experience being from California. 2-1 check swing grounder foul down the first base line, 2-2. Mazer lives in the neighboring town of Irvine, Newport Beach, but she's able to live right by the water for the same price that he and his college roommates would be living if they were in Irvine. Things a lot more expensive in Irvine. 2-2, grounded over to short. Deep in the hole is Miller. He'll throw across for the out. Mazer not able to run it out. First man retired for the Monarchs here in the top of the 7th, down 12-1. Monarchs will now look to Will Prater to get a rally started. Prater has grounded into 2 fielders' choices today. First one on the way. And a ground ball to the right side. Faust can't quite knock it down. Glances off his glove into short right field. Will Prater will reach with a single. As that was not going to be able, that would have been a very tough play for Faust. If Faust would have been able to get to that baseball, he would have had to spin and throw out a speedy base runner. 4 hits for the Monarchs. They get a 1-out man on. Down 12-1. The batter, Zach Schwarzenberger, single and a fly out for him. And Schwarzenberger flies the first pitch to left. Pellis backs up 2 steps, reaches up with one hand to make the catch. And 2 flyouts now for Schwarzenberger today. Prater remains at first base. 2 down in the 7th, 12-1 Irish Hills. The batter is Caleb Balgard, who got on his first 2 times, was hit by a pitch in the first, hit a massive home run in the 3rd, flew out to right in the 5th. Ben Scooter pitches. And Balgard puts it on the ground to second. And they'll get the short way, go the short way to get Prater at second, 4-6 for out number 3. And the Monarchs will strand a man on, not able to take advantage of a hit in the 7th. Ben Scooters through 7 strong innings. Stretch time here in Adrian, Michigan. Monarchs trailing the Leprechauns 12-1. This is Monarchs Baseball. New pitcher for the Lake Erie Monarchs as the bottom of the 7th inning begins. 12-1. It is all Irish Hills here tonight. Kyle Bischoff, the new pitcher, he'll check in for Jack Heisman, who replaced Jonathan Fincher here tonight. Came in a tough spot in the 5th and was able to navigate his way out of some issues. Pitch from Bischoff, the UT Rocket. Fastball high and tight, ball 1. Christian Faust takes ball 1. Singled and scored his last time up in the 5th, did Faust. That was the first batter that Jack Heisman faced in that inning. And the pitch is a called strike. 1-1. Bischoff becomes the third pitcher of the night for the Lake Erie Monarchs. Bischoff from Macomb, Michigan, a sophomore, 6'1", 190. Delivers high and away, 2-1. Kyle Bischoff is not going to be participating in the All-Star game, but he is going to be throwing some bullpen sessions for scouts while all the All-Stars are in Mason, Ohio. 2-1, down and away, 3-1. If you've ever seen Bischoff pitch in person, one thing you know that he has is velocity. Still trying to settle it down at times, that fastball, but he can throw upwards of 94 or 95. 3-1. High and tight, ball 4, and there's a walk from Kyle Bischoff. Tough way to lead off for the Monarchs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Next man up, Tommy Toll. 1 for 3 with a run scored today. Also grounded into a 1-2-3 double play with the bases loaded in the 5th. Toll batting from the left side against the righty Bischoff. Strike 1 is delivered. So Jack Heisman goes 2 innings, 30 pitches, faced 9, struck out 1, allowed 4 hits and 2 earned runs here tonight in his appearance. 0-1 at the knees. Make it no balls and 2 strikes on Toll. Number 9 man in the order with Christian Faust looking on at first base. Sun setting. There's some pink and purple in the sky out behind center field. Beautiful night, although it's very humid here tonight in Adrian. 0-2 skips away to the backstop. That's going to be a wild pitch from Bischoff. Also, forgot to mention that Jack Heisman did have a wild pitch in the game, and so Bischoff also will have a wild pitch. 1-2, and a ground ball to the right side, and can't cut it off. As Prater, that's a base hit. They'll throw over to third to try and get the man, and Balgard almost let it go, as that was a close play at third away from getting away from the man. 2 hits in the inning. No, a walk and a single now for Tommy Toll. Again, just put in the right spot. Prater had to try and dive to get the baseball and could not. First and third are the base runners in a 12-1 game in the 7th. Nobody out against Kyle Bischoff. Now to the top of the order for Thomas Miller. He has been a one-man wrecking crew for Irish Hills tonight. Been on base 3 times. 2 for 4 in total. Fastball, strike 1. Now, obviously, when a team scores 12 runs, it's not just one player, but Miller was able to reach on an error and score in the first. After grounding on the second, doubled home a run in the 4th, later scored, and singled in 2 in the 5th. 0-1. Miller with an inside-out swing, pops it up to the right of home, heading out into foul ground. No balls and 2 strikes.
Once again, I'd like to remind you to join us in Toledo tomorrow.
Kyle Bischoff, an 0-2 record for the 6'1", 190-pound righty. Upcoming sophomore at Toledo. 6.75 ERA. Pitching in his 6th game, time called. Bischoff will step out. So will Miller. Bischoff also has a start this year. 8 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, 14 walks, make it 15 with the one earlier, and 5 hits permitted. 2-strike pitch. Miller rung up, strike 3. There's strikeout number 10, putting him into double figures for the season. Big first out for Kyle Bischoff here in the bottom of the 7th. Runners at the corners, 1 out, 12-1 Leprechauns. Now you have the opportunity to try and get a twin killing with Gunnar Rainey at the plate, although he is quite speedy. Pitch to him. Fastball well outside, ball 1. Gunnar Rainey 1 for 4. His double came in the 4th inning, and it doubled home 2 runs. Rainey has been hot at the dish this year for the Leprechauns. Bischoff with a couple looks towards first, 1-0. And spikes one, it gets to the backstop. And up to second base is going to go Tommy Toll on the wild pitch. But not able to move up on the play was Faust from third. 2 wild pitches in the inning for Kyle Bischoff. And there goes the double play opportunity. Now you just got to focus on the man at the plate. Deep breath from Bischoff. Pitch on the way. And a check swing foul to the screen. 2 balls and a strike. Rainey chased that high heater. Max Mahone is in the on-deck circle, going to get the baseball right now. Jack Heisman is coming to visit us here in the press box after his 2-inning performance tonight. 2-1. High and tight, ball 3. That one skips away, gets past the catcher, and everyone's going to move up. Third wild pitch of the inning, and it brings in a run and make it 13-1. And Rainey was almost hit by that pitch. 2 wild pitches in this at-bat alone. Command has been a problem at times for Bischoff, and it's showing again here tonight, unfortunately. 3-1 count, 1 out, runner at third for Rainey. And he swings and corks one foul. He was well out in front of that pitch, wanted the change-up, and was able to foul it away. Well down the left field line, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 on the way. And low and away, ball 4. Rainey able to walk. 2 walks in the inning for Kyle Bischoff. And the Monarchs bullpen having to work once again. A little action down there as another righty starting to warm up. Monarchs facing their, well, for the second time this week, are down 12 runs in a game. They were down 12-0 to Grand Lake on Wednesday night. Pitch to Max Mahone, spike to the backstop. Everyone moving up 90 feet. Wild pitch for Bischoff. And it's 14-1 Irish Hills. And the command just not there right now for Kyle Bischoff, as he will allow another man to come in and score. Both of them on wild pitches scoring in this inning. Another man in scoring position, 1-0 over the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike on Max Mahone. Mahone with 2 hits tonight. RBI double in the first, RBI single in the fourth. Also has walked and flown out. Swing and a miss. 1-2 count on Max Mahone. Bischoff readies himself at the belt. Takes a breath. 1-2. Breaking ball off the end of the bat. A pop-up into foul ground. Slattery chasing, won't get there, as it will drop into the dirt down the first base line. Ball and 2 strikes now on Max Mahone. We'll take a look at some of the scores going on right now in this inning. Locos lead the Grand Lake Mariners in the top of the 8th inning, which is good for the Monarchs. Locos and St. Clair in great spots to lock up playoff spots. 1-2. A swing and a miss. Mahone strikes out. Second strikeout of the inning for Bischoff. 2 down in the inning. Man still at second in the form of Gunnar Rainey. 2 runs in, 14-1, Irish Hills. Locos came in a half game back of St. Clair in the standings tonight at 18-11. St. Clair at 19-11. The pitch to Tommy Pellis is chopped off at the plate. Foul 1. 1 for 4 is Pellis, but his 1 was a big one, a 2-run homer to get Irish Hills their second and third runs of the game. Also, the Green Giants helping out the Monarchs. They're beating the Sugar Beets in the bottom of the 5th, 9-5. Settlers and Clippers tied at 6 in the bottom of the 6th. 0-1 missed the inside corner. Ball 1. Richmond Jazz shutting out the Southern Ohio Copperhead 7-0 in the bottom of the 7th right now. And also the Cincinnati Steam having trouble with the Hamilton Joes near Cincinnati. 1-1. Fly ball deep right field. Bell backing up, looking up. Gone, a home run. Tommy Pellis goes oppo this time. A 2-run shot. What a day for Tommy Pellis. Picks up his 4th home run of the season. And he has 28 RBIs now, a 2-run shot, and it's 16-1. Just turning on that pitch and delivering it over the fence. 3rd time this game that the Irish Hills Leprechauns have scored 4 in an inning. That was hit well. Also scoring with him, Gunnar Rainey. So everything has come in against Bischoff. All of it's earned right now at this point. Josh Parks, the 7th batter of the inning in a 16-1 game. Pitch. Fastball low and away, ball 1. Josh Parks with a double, a single. Those are his first and last at-bats. Also grounded into a double play and popped out tonight. 1-0. Over the inside corner for a strike. 1-1. 5-3 Joes over the Steam in the 8th, as I was mentioning. The Graders trying to stay hot. They're beating the Xenia Scouts 8-3 in the top of the 6th. 16-1 here in the 7th. 1-1. And swing and a foul tip into the mitt for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes. Now the count on Josh Parks. Monarchs, if they lose tonight in Saginaw, that score holds. And that means 3.5. 1-2, back to the mound, knocked down by Bischoff, who's able to make the catch on a little popper. A soft line out to the mound will end things in the bottom of the 7th, but it's a big one for the Irish Hills Leprechauns. They played 4 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and no men left on. Time for the 8th. Monarchs down big, 16-1. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Monarchs down 16-1 as the top of the 8th inning will begin. Jordan Nwogu, Alex Lambo, Robert Bell still facing Sam Benscooter, who's been great tonight. His pitch is high, ball 1. Benscooter with pitch number 82 now has worked around 4 hits, has allowed just a single earned run. The homer hit by Balgard way back in the 3rd, and that's it. 1-0. High to Nwogu, 2-0. Jordan Nwogu has been on base twice, reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st, pop out in the 3rd, hit by a pitch in the 5th. Against the Spartan, Benscooter, 2-0, outside, 3-0. Irish Hills with no one warming up down the 3rd base line, although there are some members from the dugout heading in that direction. So we'll see how much longer Benscooter has. Well, he has a huge lead, so plenty of wiggle room. 3-0 pitch over the outside corner at the knees for a strike. And really, there hasn't been a singular moment where you would think, oh, maybe it's time for Benscooter to check out of the game. He's been on his game today. 3-1 and low for ball 4. Drawing a walk is Jordan Nwogu.
About to rip right through it. His short sleeve shirt is barely.
2 walks now for Sam Ben-Scooter tonight. And Jordan Nwogu's on base for the first time. That'll bring up Alex Lambo, who struck out twice and grounded out. Now Alex Lambo, the batter. And a pop-up. Hit to right center, shallow. Faust backing up. The play is his to make, and he makes it out number 1. What is very impressive is the opposing broadcaster for the Leprechauns, Jacob Seidel's description of Jordan Nwogu's undershirt here today, and he does have a bit of a small undershirt, to say the least. Didn't really notice that until now, but he is an all-star for the Monarchs, the only starter from the North Division. Ball 1 to Robert Bell, who has grounded out, flown out, and struck out. 0 for 3 tonight is Bell. And Nwogu, although before the game was kind of talking to Tim Brown about maybe a bit of tightness in his back. 1-0 is a soft liner to center, trekking in, making the backhanded grab as Pilot. Just able to get there, the liner to center field that he tracked down for out number 2. And going back to first is Nwogu. Now we'll bring up Casey Slattery, who has struck. Well, no, he grounded out his first at-bat in the 6th. Andrew Dyke struck out twice in his only 2 at-bats in this spot tonight. Slattery will take a strike. 0-1. So you hope the best for Jordan Nwogu, that it's not a big deal, as he is dealing with that tightness in his back. 0-1, runner takes off. It's outside for a ball, and there's nobody at the bag at second. So Nwogu will be able to steal successfully.
So Faust was in great position there to back up the throw.
Faust in position to back up the throw, but Miller was not able to get there quickly enough to the bag with the lefty batting, although Nwogu's jump was tremendous. 7th steal of the season for Nwogu in 8 tries.
He was basically going on first move.
1-1. Outside. Able to catch it as Peterson. 2 balls and a strike. Ben-Scooter and out away from getting through 8 innings here today. Ben-Scooter from the stretch, as he always delivers the pitch from. 2-1 is inside. 3 balls and a strike on Slattery. Monarchs, by the way, reminder, 8 of their last 10 games at home after playing at Fifth Third Field tomorrow. So 9 of their last 11 within very close proximity to home. 3-1. And outside for a ball. They throw down to second. Now Nwogu is going to try and go to third. He's caught in a rundown. They throw to third. Toll now to the shortstop, and Tommy Miller will tag him out of there. And Nwogu will be caught stealing. So Nwogu out of there. 2, 6, 5, 6 on that put out during Slattery's at bat. That will end the inning, and the Monarchs do not score. 16-1, middle of the 8th inning is on deck. You're listening to Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Preston Pilot waves and misses at strike one against Sean O'Keefe here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 16-1 Leprechauns. And O'Keefe will make an appearance on the mound once again. Throws a fastball to the backstop. Ball one. O'Keefe has pitched once this year. It came back against the Green Giants in an 11-5 loss on June 21st, way back at Flat Rock Field. 1-1. High and away. 2 balls and a strike. O'Keefe allowed 4 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, faced 14 batters on that night, and took his lumps. 2-1, swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Preston Pilot, who after starting 0 for 1 with a pop-out has singled 3 straight times, scored once, and driven in a run. 2-2 from O'Keefe. Curveball to the backstop. Having to wait an extra moment on it is Pilot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sean O'Keefe is from Saline, Michigan, near Ann Arbor. 6'4", 235 pounds. Upcoming sophomore at Western Michigan. Becomes the second Western Michigan hurler tonight, although he's not a pitcher. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. O'Keefe picks up his 3rd strikeout of the season. And Preston Pilot's the first out here in the 8th. Now Jackson Peterson, the next man up. Peterson with a double, 2 walks, an RBI, and a strikeout tonight. 1 for 2 officially. Another quick look here at the scoreboard to see what updates we have since the last inning. Ground ball drilled through the right side, a base hit for Jackson Peterson. Picks up his 2nd hit of the night, hit number 17 of the evening for Irish Hills. It has been their game from the start. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 1st, added 5 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and 4 more in the 7th. To have the advantage the way that they have it right now. Now the batter, Christian Faust. Single, a walk, a sac bunt, and a ground out. He'll pop one to right center, dropping by Robert Bell for a base hit. Jackson Peterson going to pull up at second base, and Christian Faust has his 2nd knock of the night. Up to 18 hits now. Kyle Bischoff's 7th inning was rough. 30 pitches, 7 batters faced, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 wild pitches. And Irish Hills was able to extend the lead. Now Tommy Toll with a line drive, hooking foul down the 3rd base line. Hit hard by Toll. Toll with 2 singles tonight. A fly out, and he grounded into a 1-2-3 double play. So we're about to go 4 full times through the order for Irish Hills. 0-1. And a curveball inside. A ball and a strike on Tommy Toll. Locos have a 7-3 lead over the Mariners in the top of the 9th, so that looks like that's going to hold. 1-1. Curveball over to second base. On to second for 1. Throw to first. Not in time. Able to leg it out was Tommy Toll. Fielder's choice. Out 4-6 on the play was Christian Faust. Two outs here in the 8th. Runners at the corners, 16-1 Leprechauns. And the batter is Thomas Miller. What a night he's had. Although he struck out his last time. Takes strike 1. 3 RBI night, RBI double in the 4th, 2-run single in the 5th. Also reached on error in the 1st. 0-1. And spiked into the dirt well away. Griffin Mazer was on his high horse getting to the ball and was able to knock it down. Count even at 1. St. Clair Green Giants now beating the Sugar Beets 14-5. That looks like that's going to hold. That's good news for the Monarchs and everyone below. 1-1 finishes below the zone, 2-1. Licking County Settlers also beating the Muskegon Clippers 8-6 now in the bottom of the 7th. That's good news for the North Division. And the pitch is inside, 3-1. Look at this, though. Richmond had a 7-0 lead. Entering the bottom of the 7th, it's tied at 7. Copperheads have evened it in Athens. 3-1 high, ball 4. Load the bases once again do the Irish Hills Leprechauns as Thomas Miller's on for the 4th time tonight. Now Gunnar Rainey, another try. 1 for 4 with a walk. Also had a 2-run double in the 4th, did Gunnar Rainey. Sean O'Keefe trying to work out of trouble. Curveball in the dirt outside into the left-handed batter's box, ball 1. So that's not the result the Steam exactly want, but in the top of the 9th, the Joes lead the Steam 5-4. So they're holding on to the lead. Graders 8, Scouts 4, and Xenia swinging a fly ball, left field line, dropping fair for a base hit. Peterson trotting home, right behind him, Tommy Toll, 2-run single for Gunnar Rainey to drive in 2 more runs tonight. 18-1 Irish Hills. Rainey has 17 RBIs on the season. Just put that one nicely down the left field line. Up to second base goes Thomas Miller. And now here's Max Mahone, a curveball low and away, ball 1. Mahone, 2 for 4 tonight with a walk in the 3rd, has driven in 2 runs. He's 0 for his last 2, though, with a flyout and a strikeout. So the Leprechauns have scored in each of their last 5 innings. Now Mahone is hit in the back by a pitch. That's going to load him up again. Up to second, Rainey. Up to third, Thomas Miller. 18-1 game. Literally the last man that the Monarchs want to face right now is Tommy Pellis, who has hit 2 over the wall today, 1 to left and 1 to right. And 1 to right came in the 7th, and the pitch is low and away, ball 1. But you also, just about everyone has contributed in some way, shape, or form with 18 runs and 19 hits. 1-0. Fastball at the knees, outer half, strike 1 to Pellis. So the good news here for everyone that is below the St. Clair Green Giants and the Lima Locos, 1-1 over the outside corner, 1-2 to Pellis, is that Saginaw losing big right now, 14-5 to the Green Giants. 1-2. Curveball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Mazer, 2-2. So Lima and St. Clair at this point look to be in good shape to maybe pull away with the top 2 spots in the North Division, but that third one will be up for grabs. 2-2. Check swing, went too far, strike 3, and not having to do a tag as Tommy Pellis will strike out, and that's that. So the Monarchs give up a couple more runs here in the bottom of the 8th, and Irish Hills will leave them loaded. To the 9th, last chance for the Monarchs, down 18-1. You're listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Time for the top of the ninth inning. Strike one delivered to Slattery. He swings and misses. 0-1. Trying to go for the complete game is Sam Benscooter. Fastball high and away. Levels up the count at a ball and a strike. Benscooter has been fantastic tonight, allowing just one earned run in the third inning on a Balgard homer. 1-1 is high. 2-1 on Casey Slattery, who was in the batter's box in the top of the eighth when Jordan Awogu was caught stealing. And it was the always ordinary 2-6, 5-6 put out of him. 2-1 is high. 3-1 to Slattery. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. He came in for Andrew Dyke earlier in the game. So the Monarchs trying to see what they can do here. They can get some runs in, and Slattery will draw a walk. Well, you can't climb a mountain without getting the first man on base. That's what the Monarchs have done here with the leadoff walk. 18-1, top of the ninth. The batter is Casey O'Laughlin. Strikeout, a pop-out, and a fly-out here tonight. O'Laughlin will bat and swings and fouls one straight back. No balls and a strike. Of course, what does come to mind is the 17-run inning that the Monarchs had against the Saginaw Sugar Beets. That came a couple weeks ago at home in a 27-8 win. That began this nice stretch for the Monarchs. 0-1 is high, 1-1. That was the start of this 13-game stretch where the Monarchs have won 9 of their last 13. That win in Saginaw. Benscooter pitches the 1-1. And a swing and a miss. Chasing the elevated fastball was O'Laughlin to make it 1-2. Lights are on in full effect as darkness is settling in over southeast Michigan and the southern tip of the Irish Hills. 1-2. Curveball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Monarchs and Leprechauns will not be back at this ballpark tomorrow, though. Fifth Third Field is where the Monarchs and Leprechauns are heading tomorrow to wrap up this series and the season series. 2-2 popped up. Foul ground coming over, still coming, and not going to get there is Tommy Toll. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Irish Hills looking for their 5th consecutive victory in this rivalry, dating back to last year when they swept the Monarchs in Flat Rock. All 4 of those wins have come in Flat Rock, in fact. A look in from Ben Scooter, and the 2-2. Outside, ball 3. Able to lay off was O'Laughlin. That was an enticing, tailing fastball that stayed off the plate. 3-2, about to be on the way to O'Laughlin with a man at first. And O'Laughlin takes inside, ball 4. Great start to the inning for the Lake Erie Monarchs as they get Sam Benscooter out of the game. They draw 2 walks to the leadoff man. A lefty is coming in. We'll let you know who that is in just a moment. Monarchs trail at 18-1 here in the 9th. You're listening to Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Valiant effort tonight from Sam Benscooter, but his night is going to come to a close a little short of the finish line. 8+ innings, 106 pitches, faced 33 batters, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks, 4 hits allowed, and as of right now, 1 earned run. But the 2 men on base are his responsibility. He walked Casey Slattery and Casey O'Laughlin to start the inning. And now Griffin Mazer will step in for the Monarchs. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Check that. Keegan Watson, the pinch hitter from the University of Nebraska, here in the 9th. Mazer tonight with a walk, a single, and a ground out. So they want to get him another at bat for Keegan Watson. Pitch low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Keegan Watson, 6'3", 200 pounds, an upcoming sophomore from Fountaintown, Indiana. Batting against Brennan Cox, the new lefty. 1-1 is high and away. 2 balls and a strike. Brennan Cox is from Taylor, Michigan, near Downriver, Detroit. 6 foot, 205 pounds. He's from Wayne State University. Upcoming freshman. 2-1. Pop up by Watson. That's heading out of play to the right of home and down the first base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brennan Cox just turned 19 years old a little over 2 months ago, back on May 7th. And he's making his 7th appearance of the season. The lefty digging in against the righty Keegan Watson. Slattery and O'Laughlin have their leads. The 2-2 and Watson, a check swing on a ball in the dirt, and he went too far, strike 3. He'll be punched out of there. Mark Hannawald punches him out. Doesn't need help from Steve Miller. First out here in the 9th, 18-1 Irish Hills Leprechauns. Will Prater will bat. 2 fielder's choices that he's grounded into to start things off. He also singled in the 7th. First base side of the rubber, Cox delivers. A slider well outside, ball 1. Cox has no record, a 10.24 ERA through 6 prior appearances. 9 2/3 innings, 5 Ks to 8 walks, 14 hits allowed. 1-0. And a chopper through the left side. Nope, it's going to be stopped by Thomas Miller. Did he get to the bag in time? Yes, he did, to get Slattery. Playing off the bag was Toll, but he stepped on it just in time. So out 6-5 is Casey Slattery on the fielder's choice, hit into by Will Prater. Up to second base goes Casey O'Laughlin, and the Monarchs are down to their final out here on this Saturday evening. Here's Zach Schwarzenberger. 2 flyouts, sandwich a single tonight. That came in the 5th. Pitch to him. And he swings at a high fastball. No balls and a strike on Schwartzy. He'll bat from the right side against Brennan Cox. Last appearance came 3 days ago in a win over the Clippers. Allowed 3 earned runs, 3 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Face 7. Ground ball over to second. Going the short way to second is Faust to Miller. That's the ball game as Zach Schwarzenberger will ground into a fielder's choice to end things tonight. A 2-hour and 29-minute contest as the Irish Hills Leprechauns win it by a final score of 18-1 here tonight to improve their record to 15-15. The Monarchs will fall to 13-17. 18 runs in the ball game for the Irish Hills Leprechauns on 19 hits in error, and they will leave 6 men on the base paths. While the Lake Erie Monarchs will just get 1 run on 4 hits, 2 errors, and they did not have a ton of opportunities tonight as they left 6 on base as well. Again, the time of game, 2 hours and 29 minutes, starting at 7:02 and wrapping up at 9:31 here this evening. And the Monarchs will fall tonight. Sam Benscooter, what an appearance. Allows just 1 earned run in 8 innings pitched to grab the W here to improve his record to 2-0 on the season. Brennan Cox getting the last 3 outs of the ball game here tonight. While on the other side of things for the Lake Erie Monarchs, taking the loss is Jonathan Fincher. who threw 4+ innings here tonight, 92 pitches. The pitcher from Louisiana Tech faced 25, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 10 hits, 10 runs, 8 of them earned. So it was a rough outing for Jonathan Fincher as his record goes back to 1-1 on the year. Jack Heisman pitched 2 innings and allowed 2 runs. Kyle Bischoff allowed 4 runs in the 7th, and Sean O'Keefe allowed 2 in the 8th. Final score tonight, 18-1. The Irish Hills Leprechauns defeat the Lake Erie Monarchs, and we'll go at it again here tomorrow, and not at the same location though, as we will move to Toledo, Ohio, Fifth Third Field, where the Monarchs will try and salvage 1 game in this season series that has now been won by the Irish Hills Leprechauns. They've won 3 games in total here this season. Monarchs fall 18-1 tonight in Adrian at Siena Heights University. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Kevin Peel saying good night from the Irish Hills. You have been listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Have a great evening.